Hi everyone, and welcome to the recorded version of our webinar today. We were having technical difficulties earlier, so we went ahead and recorded this for you. Today we're going to talk about setting up your theme and setting colors for your storyline file, updating your player skins, adding custom menu tabs, setting up your scenes, and the course navigation. So let's get started. First thing here, I went ahead and I put in a random example company logo. Sometimes from your client you'll get a logo, you'll get brand guidelines, you may get a PowerPoint, but from any of these pieces you will have their colors and hopefully their font style that you can work with. So what I like to do is I start by putting the logo on the screen, and then I will go into my design tab and go to colors. I always create a new theme for each individual company, and we will call this example company 1. And what I then do is I take a look at my text background, and we're going to keep that black. Keep some of these the same, but then I change my accent colors. And what I do is I use the eyedropper to go in and pick up accent colors from the logo. You could also do this from a brand guideline sheet that they might provide for you. And if you did that and you had a specific color, you would go to More Colors and you would type it in right here to specifically name the color to add to your theme. So we can go through here, we'll add some colors that are in the logo, and what this will do for us is this will help us while we create the course. All of these colors will be preloaded into our buttons, preloaded into our shapes to make our design a lot simpler and easy to implement. So now that we have our colors, we can go here over to Insert, and we can insert a shape, and you will see that then under Format, our colors are preloaded in here. And they match the logo, and you already have a little bit then of your brand guideline already built in for you. So that's a nice way to start and start setting up your storyline file. Next, what we'll do is we're going to update our player skin. And we're going to do that by going up to the Player tab. We'll select it. And as it's opening, we are going to go in here and we are going to change the color of our skin. We'll do so by going to the Color and Effects tab. You'll see that we have built-in ones in Storyline. You can select one of these if maybe they would match your client's look and feel, but oftentimes you might have to create your own. And to do so, you're going to go to Show Advanced Color Editing, and let's go ahead and we'll make our base main background. We will make that white. And let's see, let's take a moment to make our main border white as well, so it kind of all blends into the screen. And this company has some colors, so we'll make the colors pop on the slide. We can also change button colors, and we can change your icon colors. We can change the shadow of the buttons. So there's a lot that you can do within here. Most of the items on the player are all customizable and can be the colors of your choice. Now, another thing to note here is that we can change our player font. Let's say our client says, well, you know, our standard font is an Arial 12 point, so we can go ahead and we can go in here and we can change to Arial. One thing recently that I've ran into is the client said, you know, we're looking at this on a mobile device and we need the player text size to be larger. So went in here and made it 150% to make everything a little bit larger so it was clearer on a mobile device. So that's a nice built-in feature now that Storyline offers. And let's see here, we have our menu items, our list items. And we're going to change that so it's visible here. So that's in the menu list, which we're probably going to get rid of this menu. And let's go in here. Okay. Now, one thing, we would keep going through until we had it exactly as we liked, but let's go ahead and take a moment to go back to our menu. We're going to go here, and we are not going to have our menu on the side like this. So you have lots of options. You can either go in here, find your menu tab, and you can move it, and you could have it up at the top here. Or you can get rid of it completely if you don't want it to be a drop-down menu and instead maybe you want to have a custom menu in your course. We could move it completely and we could create our own. Let's say maybe we call this menu and it's on the right, but what it does is we jump to a slide that's going to be our menu slide. Now, if you notice, we don't have color for our menu tab, so we have to go back over to Colors and Effects and go in here and add our text. And we're going to go ahead and add all of our titles to more full color. Alright, and then we're going to go over here and let's go ahead and get rid of the title, but maybe instead we'll add a seek bar and have that there. Now also, you can also choose to, maybe you want to keep resources, but maybe you don't have any. But one thing to note is that a lot of times people use our notes section as our transcript. You don't want it on the side there, so we're going to go ahead and move it up to the top as well. And to change the label so it doesn't say notes, maybe you want it to say closed captioning or transcript. You simply go in here to the text labels and you go down to notes and you change it to custom text, and we're going to put CC for closed captioning. And there it is. That way your users can use that as their transcript for closed captioning. Now let's go in here and we're going to change our seat control. And let's make it white so it kind of blends in, and we will make the border white as well. And then we'll just change our button icons to, let's go ahead and make them orange to match. Alright, so then we're going to hit OK. And we have our player skin. And we've also went ahead and added custom menu tabs. So the next step we need to do is go into Story View. And I find it helps me to take this extra step when I am setting up my courses to go ahead and look at the outline and go ahead and set my scenes. So the first one here might be the welcome scene. And then let's say we have a new scene that's going to be our menu, because we know we're going to have a custom menu. And then maybe we have 4 or 5 additional scenes. Let's say scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and we'll have scene 4. Alright, so we have all of that. So our scenes are set up, we know we want to start here, and this starting scene allows us to select which scene we want to start with. You simply click that and it'll change it. So click the flag and start at welcome. Now, one nice thing that we can do within the story view is we can select a slide and we can already decide how it's going to advance. For one, a quick thing to always remember is on our first slide, we don't need a previous button because we're not going back anywhere. And do we want it to advance by the user, or do we want it to go automatically? For this course, we're going to say automatically. And when revisiting, do we want the user to come back to that slide and have it saved where they last were in the same position, or do we want it to reset the entire slide? This is especially helpful if you have video, audio, or an interaction. So I like to always reset to the initial state. And another thing to note here is some slides you may have special features where this slide you will want to have a custom maybe glossary on it or a custom resource section, and you don't want it the entire time, but you do want it on this slide. So you can make it custom for just this slide to have a resource section that won't show everywhere. This is especially good for pages that are tool pages, or at the end of your course when you want to have the last page provide downloads for your end user. That works really well for. So then we are now going to go in and to our menu page, and really quick, just for the purpose of showing you, what we would do is we could either create buttons or images, but we're going to need here, we have 4 scenes that we're going to navigate to. So we have scene 1, we have scene 2, we have scene 3, and we have scene 4. And within each of these scenes, this is our custom menu, so we're going to add our trigger to jump to the first slide within that scene. So we'll say OK. We'll add the next one. We'll say OK. We'll add the next one. Say OK. And the last. And what this will do is when we go back to our story view, you will see how we have the menu and our different scenes under each. Now we're going to link our welcome page by saying jump to our menu slide. And there we go. So that we'll go into our welcome, it'll then take them to the menu and then to the additional scenes. Now you might know if your course up front needs a question bank, or maybe it doesn't, but it's a good time to go ahead and set it up right from the start if you know you're going to have one. So you can create a question bank very easily. We'll say example question bank. And what's nice is if you have a course that is going to be in a series, you'll be able to save these question banks and use them throughout the different courses. So you can easily add a question just by double clicking onto it. And it'll come up and give us different options for true, false, multiple choice, multiple response, and you'll simply insert it in here and there it will be. And you can add your question text and A, B, C, and D. Now, one thing to note is that you can also change the points, how much your questions are worth. To write down here, if it's correct, they can get 10 points. Or maybe you have 5 questions and you want them each to be worth 20 points to reach 100. You can do that right here. and you can then adjust the points as necessary. Lastly, we're going to take a quick look at your Slide Master. You can go to the View tab and select Slide Master, and this will allow you to then create your master slides for your project. You can have maybe your titles here. You know that on every title you want a title bar, so you're going to go ahead and make it here and apply it on every slide. We'll put our, you can adjust your title slide and then adjust and make adjustments to each slide underneath, all on your Slide Master, so that it's done throughout the course. Maybe you want to put your logo in the corner. But then you have your master slides built out, your theme set up, you've updated your player skin, you've added custom menu tabs, you've set up your scenes and your course navigation, and now all you have to do is add your content. So that's it for today. Thanks so much.